Welcome to Blind City. I had to lose my sight to find my vision.
Are you blind? Are you blind? Open your eyes. They lying every time, so I don't trust men, only trust God. I had to lose my sight before I could see the light.
Welcome to Blind City. See, Blind City is a condition. Crime, racism, and poverty. We have to put the word neighbor back into hood. I had over 31 surgeries and lost my sight and fight to glaucoma. I tried killing myself 3 times in one day, and I was unsuccessful. And then I heard a voice tell me, use your weakness as a strength to inspire and create awareness through Blind City, the podcast. I will address the issues that are plaguing our society, like poor education, that are turning our broken neighborhoods into the breeding grounds for prisons, bootleg preachers, crooked politicians that have my people dancing like strippers in the community. Let's talk about it, or we can flip tables like Jesus. Welcome to Blind City. This is Blind City, the podcast. I'm your host, Langford Cunningham. We are the therapy for these streets. And like I said before, the most dangerous man in the world is a blind man with a handgun. Welcome to Blind City, the podcast.com. I had to lose my sight to find my vision. I don't walk with a cane or a dog, but I'm better looking than Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles. I have a special guest just rolled up to the city, coming out of Ohio. I bet she's a Buckeye fan. Mizzou. Miss Roxy Reynolds, how you doing?
Hey, how are you? I'm good, thank you.
Oh, I'm blessed and blind, baby. Are you a Buckeye fan?
Yeah, I'm a Buckeye fan. I went to Ohio State. I went there with Ted Ginn, Santonio Holmes. But my favorite NFL team is really the Ravens.
Oh, the Ravens. Okay. We had a guy from St. Louis that was a big Ohio State player, Zeke Elliott out of St. Louis.
Yeah.
Played for the Buckeyes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know your sports. But let's get right to it. Miss Reynolds, I kind of see your story as you had to walk through hell to get to heaven. I want you to tell the people, how did you come about going through what you did in the porn business? Did you have a plan when you went inside that business? Did you know, hey, I'm going to do this to get to this place? Did you go in playing chess, or did you kind of figure it out along the way?
I kind of figured out along the way. I was actually in college. I was going to Ohio State at the time. And I had no clue what I was getting myself into. I just wanted to make some money. I was a broke college student. I had dreams and aspirations, and I wanted to make some money. And that's what happened. But I tried to hide it. I didn't think it would be as big as it got. I just wanted to get in and get out.
So you knew you wanted to get in and get out. So you saying the fame that happened behind it kind of caught you off guard.
Absolutely. Me and my family. It was something unexpected. I thought I could sneak and knock it out and be done, but it hit the world, all the platforms, the internet. So I couldn't hide it.
And how did you handle that? Did that bring a lot of stress from your family and friends, or you really didn't care because you were still out to get this money? How did it affect you, your personal life?
Well, I was young. I was young. I was always a leader, and I really never cared what other people thought or talked about when it came to me. So on a personal level and experience, I didn't care. As far as my family, I did, because, I have a church going family. And this was something that was unexpected, at least coming from me. I enjoy sports and just being like a public speaker, not being shy at all, just a big leader. So it was something that nobody expected, down to my ex-boyfriends. So
during your journey, did you start getting tired? When did it start accumulating in your mind? Like, you know what? I done got the money. Life is good. But I'm getting tired of this.
Sorry. Well, I was 21 when I started. So I was, at the age where, life isn't taken seriously. I decided that I wanted to start working on my retirement, and I was getting tired of the movies or that type of attention. Around 28, I knew that I had more to offer. My home city knows me personally as Schanell, and everyone knows I have more to offer, especially coming from the family that I come from. So I kind of just woke up on the other side of the bed one day. I already had it in my mind and was planning a different strategy and a retirement plan, with the money that I had and the money that was still coming in residually. But I want to say, honestly, it was God. I had a talk with God, and he helped me.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Say that again. Say it again.
That it was God. It was definitely God. God helped me wake up one morning, and I was just done. I changed my name on my Instagram page. I made an announcement that I was officially retired. I stopped taking those type of bookings, and I focused on myself. I wanted to actually start brokering and doing brokerage and logistics.
And as of right now, with that statement you just made, I will address you as Schanell.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Redemption. So, God gave you a calling.
Definitely.
But even though you went to school, you were educated.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about education for a quick minute. We have a lot of people out here. I went back to school at 42 years old.
Oh.
And I got my degree in criminal justice, and I worked at the juvenile detention center here in St. Louis for about 17 years before I lost my eyesight.
Mm.
And I love going in, working with those kids and changing lives. I think that's your next phase.
That's amazing.
I think that's your next phase. I know you have some products out in Macy's. You got a couple companies I heard, and we're going to talk about that. But let's get back to God and this public speaker. What more do you want to do with that?
As of right now, I've expanded my trucking company, M&S Sanders Trucking. It was something that I wanted to work on more because of the community, because of the Black men who really can't solidify a good job with a good income. So regardless if you have a record or not, it's something that all men, Black men especially, can get into and make lucrative money. So I mastered the industry, the transportation industry, when it comes to getting your LLC, solidifying your authority, buying your trucks, leasing your trucks, hiring your drivers, being FMCSA compliant. I've basically mapped out everything. And I started that.
So you telling me you got into this trucking business and at the same time thinking this is going to help my community, and it's a lot of young Black men out here that have felonies and can't get jobs, so I'm going to provide a job for them.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what you're telling me?
Mm-hmm, yes, sir. And a platform where it's all in-house. I help with down to the applications, filling them out for them. So that and my Untold Truth perfume, those are the two things that I focus on now.
Let me tell you this. You're doing more than the churches in the Black community. Oh, man. Oh, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous out here. But he better not say nothing bad about you with me on the front line. Okay. They better not say a thing. You out here giving Black men jobs when society is trying to eliminate the Black man.
Absolutely.
Schanell Redemption. Let's talk about this fragrance you have out.
Untold True Fragrance is a woman's Eau de Perfume. And I have a Unapologetic for Men. It's a cologne. That's another thing that God helped me create and see. I couldn't have did it without him.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
It was a blessing. It was a dream. It was something God gave me. Just one day. I've always wanted to do a fragrance. I was going to release one under Roxy Reynolds, but I'm actually glad I waited. I ran into a lot of dead ends being Roxy Reynolds trying to release a perfume like Beyonce or Rihanna or Mary J. Blige, how they had it in, Walmart or CVS.
Facts.
And because I hadn't carried that name, the prices went up, So I kind of sat back on that and stayed in the porn industry with creating toys. I got that all over the world. Great money coming in. But it was more that I wanted to offer. So God, again, he helped me with Untold Truth. I came up with the name, just experiencing hard times and trying to retire and make a household name as Schanell, the person that I am. So it was a long journey, but I got it done. And I had a grand opening in Macy's in Atlanta at Lenox Mall and a Century City Mall in LA by Beverly Hills.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
See, you got people out there that would judge you, though.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a very judgmental society with social media. Social media is overrated. If that white boy unplugged social media, all these Negroes be unemployed.
I thought about that too, being Roxy. Like, without the internet, what would I be? Without clubs or the strip club or magazines, where would I be?
Exactly. So the way you went about it and the formation and you executed your plan.
Yes, sir.
So we have so many girls out here. I want you to talk to the girls. I want you to talk to the younger women. If they're not in a community college, they're dancing, they trying to take care of their families. These young girls are taking control of their own destiny. They raising their children in the community. Because if you look at it right now, Schanell, the women are the pimps and these Negroes are the hoes. The roles have been reversed. Yeah. The men are rapping about drugs and being on drugs, crying about pain. She's a track star, all that. And the women out here talking about, I got to get to the bag. So what can you tell these young women that's out here getting to the bag? What else advice can you give them to help them be successful?
The message that I would be able to give to the young girls now that are entertained by social media or other celebrities is that everything that you see isn't glitter or gold.
Everything that you see is not glitter or gold.
Yeah, like
profound.
You have to have your own dreams and aspirations. You can't follow anyone else's steps, because those steps that person took to get to where they are, they had obstacles to go through. It looks easy, but it's not. And then they maintain it, and to keep it, to have longevity with it, it's even harder. So with that being said, I would say focus on yourself and find your niche. Find what you like to do. A lot of girls want to start selling clothes or makeup or, esthetician. There's other things that women can conquer, regardless if it's in a man's world, like me in the trucking industry. I would say keep God close. Make sure that he's your friend. He'll help guide you through all of that to become a leader of your own. Everybody has their own heart, and you have to find what you desire and not follow the trend or be in competition with another. You have to remain focused, take time to yourself, and you have to really sit and think. It took me about 3 years to really think of what I wanted to do while I was transitioning and retiring. So it's going to be some downtimes, but with support and your family and your friends, the ones you can call your friends, they'll help you and motivate you to get to where you need to be.
That's amazing. And you're absolutely right. We have a lot of talented young women out here. Here in St. Louis, it's a lot of young women being murdered. We got over 400 black girls missing out of a small town called Berkeley, Missouri. And there's no outrage. There's no outrage, Schanell. The climate with our cities. I even know in Ohio, the murder rate up there is high as well in our communities. But if a cop kills us, everybody out there breakdancing, Black Lives Matter. But when we kill each other, crickets.
Yeah.
And we have to take our community back. And that's what you're doing. You're taking your community back. You took your life back. You didn't fall prey to the naysayers, the negativity. You didn't let what you did through the porno business break you. You didn't let it discourage you. You said, hey, this is something I did. I'm finna move forward and do what's best for my community and do God's work. To me, that's the perfect transition. That's like Malcolm X. He was a pimp when he went to jail, and he came back out to the streets to make a difference.
That's a good example.
I put your story with Malcolm X. Yes, I do. Schanell, we're going to take a break. Schanell, I'm going to call you Robin Hood. You stealing from the rich and bringing it back to the poor. We'll be right back after these messages. BlindCityThePodcast.com, ABC 30. You see so many young men on the corner on these bus stops, and the women are working even if they stripping. They working. But the men have taken the back seat.
These men are lost is because they're distracted by video games, distracted by social media, distracted by marijuana use, and distracted by a lack of a male role model in their life to give them that guidance. So I think when we see this scenario that you talked about, women working, women going to school, women handling their own, many of them have had to do that because of the lack of the men in their lives to help or support them.
If you found this content helpful, please share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Blind City the Podcast. You can find us on all social media platforms.
BlindCityThePodcast.com.
Langford Cunningham is really an inspiration.
Mr. Langford Cunningham.
Blind City, the podcast. It's headed up by a guy named Langford Cunningham. He had to lose his sight to find his vision.
Welcome to Blind City, the podcast. I'm your host, Langford Cunningham. We are the therapy for these streets.
Everybody got their ops, everybody got their enemies, but for real, now you don't even got to worry about your enemy. It be, the closest around you.
No, this is real. We getting shot by police. We getting stereotyped.
We didn't get a proper investigation. Well, definitely, I think it's a bunch of
Your car got shot up, right?
Yeah, he struck the bullet.
Yeah, you from the hood.
They just passed a law where you can give a kid a gun without the parents' permission.
Wait a minute, they can do what? We got people in power that's not really for the people. They think the people work for them. You work for the people.
We got to talk about the disparities in our community.
Check out Blind City the Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or go to BlindCityThePodcast.com. BlindCityThePodcast.com. I have a special guest just rolled up to the city. Roxy Reynolds, not no more. Schanell. She has a trucking business. She giving black men jobs, doing more than the churches. She's out there putting her blessings to work. She has a fragrance. It's out in Macy's. What else you got going on, Schanell? What else you got up your sleeve? What else you going to do for the community? What else you trying to do? What you trying to put together?
I am in my mid-30s now. So I decided that once I'm 40 and up, I always have a 10-year plan.
You always have a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
You are strategic.
That's I mean, it's not something that I thought of myself. You know, it was something that was taught to me from my mother and my father. You know, it's always good to have a 10-year plan. Learned that in school, college. And my next 10-year plan is to be a therapist. I want to be a relationship counselor, a therapist for Black single women without children. There's a lot of women that are torn because they're at a certain age and they don't have children and they feel like they're worthless. I run into a lot of that. So over the years, I decided that I wanted to go and solidify a therapy license, counseling for marriage and divorcees, to where the judge may order them to go to counseling first. And maybe I would be number one on her list to come see me. And I want to add on sex therapy. You know, a lot of married couples, they lack in the bedroom because of different issues that they may have. And I think that I can probably help them with that.
Well, you got me quiet on that one. That's amazing. And we definitely having relationship issues in our community. A lot of relationships are turning into situationships.
Right.
You're right. And it's definitely needed in our community because we are the therapy for the streets. I brought the doctors onto my show because I knew the hood wasn't going to the doctor. And you're absolutely right. So you are definitely filling holes in our community that need to be filled. And that's amazing. So I'm beginning to think God was using you all along, even when you didn't know it. Matter of fact, I know that's true. Sometimes that's how God works, Schanell. Sometimes, you know, everybody's journey different. You got to walk through hell before you get to heaven sometimes. You got to get it in the mud.
Yeah.
And that's what you did. And now you're coming back out to give back to the people and doing your journey in the mud. You start seeing the vacancies in our community that you needed to fix. You saw it along the way.
Yes, sir.
Man, God is amazing. God is amazing. You gonna run for politics?
Oh no. Oh no. I did go to school in the same major as you, was criminology, right?
Yeah, I went in criminal justice, not criminology.
Oh, okay. I was doing criminology. I speak Spanish. That's my second language. I've been speaking since I was like 5 years old. So
you speak Spanish?
Yeah, I speak Spanish too.
What you mean? Like, okay, say something to me in Spanish. Say this. Say, I think a blind man is sexy. Say it in Spanish.
Tú no puedes ver, pero todo va a ser bien, ¿ok? Y yo estaba hablando español para muchos años, pero yo puedo escribir y leer y hablar con tú también. So.
Oh, man, that sounded good. Say in Spanish, say you think I'm better looking than Ray Charles.
Oh, tú miras muy bien, más derechados.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Only thing I know in Spanish is nachos, not your hoes.
Silly. I was going for Spanish criminology. I wanted to be a Spanish lawyer, Spanish detective, just something in like criminology with entertaining my Spanish as well. Interpreter, traveling internationally for that. I had different options. That was one of the things I went to college for.
That's amazing. Like I said, I know for a fact God used you as your masterpiece. What he's doing with you. No, he's putting together a masterpiece. You're a masterpiece. He's putting you together to empower the world, and that's what you're doing. And that's why you can't be out here judging people, folks.
Right.
Quit judging people, folks. God judges. We don't judge. You know, sometimes people are just going through a certain point in their life. They trying to find their way out. Or maybe they don't even know which way they going, but they just trying to feel their way through.
Right.
But we cannot condemn people because they're trying to figure it out at that time or they just don't know. We got to stop shutting people down. The cancel culture, all on social media, kids hanging themselves, committing suicide. See, that's what's destroying the people in the community. And you're a shining star, and you're shining amongst everyone, and you're sharing your blessings with the people. I am definitely a supporter for you. Anything I can do for any of your brands or whatever for my show to help promote you, I'm willing to do. Hopefully we can work together in the future. Hopefully I can get you in some of these juvenile detentions and talk to these young girls. What you think about that?
I had to do my own 6 months of time as well at the Hamilton County Justice Center in Cincinnati. So I definitely know how that goes. I would love to go and speak to some of the women in there that have made their own decision and let them know that life will continue to go on and you will be set free. So be prepared. Are you going to write a book? You need to write a book. I did. You gonna write a book? I wrote one book, but it was, of course, when I was Roxy Reynolds, and I'm still her. It's just my other name. I'm retired. Right. I'm not like, what do they say? Bipolar or anything like that. But my book was about the industry when I got in it. I started at college. I didn't start like in childhood, elementary, middle, or high. I started right at college, and I went up into the industry. I gave some pointers for women in there and men. I gave some tips. I gave some scenarios. I gave some real life situations. In that
What's the name of this book?
It's Secrets of a Porn Star. And then I released
Where can they find it?
Amazon. It's on Amazon right now. I'm sold out personally because it's not something I'm trying to market right now. But I am interested in writing another book. Like I said, I have a few more things to accomplish before I actually release more of my successes. But I'm definitely thinking about releasing another book for the community and the women who are inspired by me so that I can continue to help them understand my path that I went through.
Well, let me say this. Thank you for rolling up to the city. I appreciate you. Anything I can do in the future. But my goal is to get you to St. Louis and get you to talk to some of these girls in juvenile detentions and get you out and meet the people who are making a difference in our community. And this interview has really touched me because they judge me because I'm blind. And I've done more things being blind than I did when I had sight. I just lost my sight 2 years ago. And since I lost my vision, I became an entrepreneur. BlindCityThePodcast.com.
If you found this content helpful, please share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Blind City the Podcast. You can find us on all social media platforms.
BlindCityThePodcast.com.